Hey everybody, this is Beat the Bush. Today we're gonna make some imitation shark fin soup. Shark fin soup is like a Chinese delicacy. You usually have this at a wedding in California because of the shark fin ban and also because of animal cruelty and stuff. You can no longer buy shark fin. It's a bit strange that people would actually want to go eat the shark fin because the shark fin itself doesn't taste like anything. Most of the flavor actually comes from the chicken, the pork, and the Virginia ham that's inside. I want something as close to it as possible while doing the less amount of work. I'm just gonna put chicken in and it tastes like 95% there. The main component of even the real shark fin soup is prime chicken stock, to be precise. It's just the first boil of the chicken and you have to make it really rich. With that, let's just get to it and make some imitation shark fin soup. You'll need about 3 chicken carcasses. You can see that I have some cooked ones here and some raw ones. The raw chicken carcass is just left over from a whole chicken, and these might be from like rotisserie chicken where you pick them clean first with your hands so you're not eating off of them and making it all gross. Remove the carcass and put it aside. I froze all of these. I partially unfroze them. Now we can use it in the soup. Or you can just use one full chicken with all the meat intact to boil. Put on all those bones in this boiling water. It's been about a couple minutes and you can see the soup is really cloudy. Notice when you first cook chicken bone, it starts to bleed, right? That's what's going in the soup right now, all the bleeding. And that actually makes the soup taste kind of dirty and not good. We don't want this initial bleeding of the bone. So I rinsed these about 2-3 times already. Now we're ready to make our soup. Put the clean bones back in. Fill it to about 1.5 inches above the bones. Bring this back to a boil. Skim off all the foam on the top. The more foam you skim off, the better it will taste. The clearer the soup will taste. You do this until all the foam is gone. It may take about 20 minutes. However, after you skim all the foam, you should boil this on low for another 1.5 hours. Right now, all there is in here is just water and chicken bones. See all the little pieces of meat stuck on the chicken? Well, they'll leak out flavor into the soup. Pretty much after you boil it, you're gonna throw away all the chicken bones because all the flavor has been extracted and into the soup. When you're doing this, you can skim off a lot of the fat that rises up. Here's a lot of the foam has disappeared. This is the foam that I scooped off. You can see it looks really not appetizing and you don't want to drink this. It's been about half an hour and it seems like the foam has been coming up less and less often. Reduce the heat to a slow boil and then you can put a lid on it so it catches any kind of steam and then it'll drip back down. Strain out all the bones. I had to refrigerate the broth because I ran out of time. You can actually pre-make this prime chicken stock. Just cool it down and put it in a to-go container like this and then freeze it. Take a turkey breast and slice it into about twice the width of a matchstick. Put a little white pepper, some salt, just a tiny bit of starch, and just mix it up. This is about 4 tablespoons of starch. This is the thickener, and you just add about equal parts water in here and then mix it up. Usually I just use my fingers until you can feel no more clumps. Later on it'll settle down to the bottom, so you mix it into a liquid a bit right before you pour it. That's ready. Got some vermicelli noodles here, and we're gonna use 2 of these to make it seem like our imitation shark fin. Okay, bring some water to a boil, and then put the vermicelli in. Cook them for about 2 minutes. While it's cooking, you can start to cut them down so that they're all about 2-3 inches. You don't want to cook them too much because when you put it in the hot boiling soup, it's going to cook a little bit more again. So just strain this out. That's ready. So this is our prime chicken stock. You can see that it's a little bit cloudy because there's so much bone in it. It doesn't really matter. It's very tasty right now. I'm gonna use some of this superior dark soy sauce. About 1 teaspoon of it is enough. Just to give it a little bit of dark color. Make it brown. And then I'm flavoring it with some of this fish sauce. 4 teaspoons should be about enough saltiness. Can of course just try it. These floating things are just chicken skin I put in. You don't have to have those in there. So I have this cornstarch. It's settled in a bit, so I gotta mix it up real quick right before I pour it in. You pour it in like this. You kind of stir it, kind of drizzle it in. If you pour it in all at the same time, it might clump up. This is the trick to get it very smooth. The cornstarch has to be mixed with water first before you pour it in, or else it'll clump up as well. You can see it's turned into this thick gravy-like thing. If it's not thick enough, you have to thicken it some more with more cornstarch. When I'm eyeballing it, I see that it's not thick enough, so I like it a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna put 1 more tablespoon of cornstarch mixture. A total of 5 tablespoons of cornstarch mixture. Now this is almost ready, but I still have this raw chicken here. You want this chicken to be silky smooth. It's very important that you don't overcook this chicken breast. So let's just put that in. And then you want to quickly mix it up. Just turn off the heat, it should cook the rest of the way. I moved it over because I don't want it to keep heating. This is good enough. Just put in the vermicelli. And it's pretty much ready. Seems like you should cook the meat for longer, but really you don't need to. Of course you're gonna double check. So for serving, let's grab some that. Some meat. So you can see we have the vermicelli noodle here. It has this thick consistency, pretty much ready to eat. I'm gonna put in some of this diluted red vinegar in it. And I would normally put in white pepper, but I just broke it just now, trying to push this aside. So I'm gonna put some black pepper in instead. So here, black pepper. And that's it, this is ready. So that's all there is to it, shark fin soup. Normally if you go to Chinese restaurants to buy this, it would cost you something like $20 a bowl. If you just go and make a giant pot of this, it's as if you made something very valuable. So let's give this a try. The vinegar gives it a little tart tasting, and the vermicelli, it's like a very familiar texture of shark fin soup. When I make it for people I know, usually they go crazy over this soup. This is like the best kind of soup you can ever make. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to give me a like and give a comment down below if you have any questions. And don't forget to subscribe down here. Thanks for watching.